Good afternoon. Welcome to 60 Minutes Nigeria. It is a current affairs program that creates the platform for very distinguished personalities to dissect national issues. I start the program today by saying, Happy Democracy Day. My name is Egosa Agbonlao. We've been listening to President Tinubu, who addressed our joint section of the National Assembly. And I must say that a lot has come out of that address, especially for the proponents of democracy, those who fought, heroes of democracy, those who fought for democracy, which of course Nigeria is enjoying. For 26 years, we've been having unbroken democratic government in Nigeria. And of course, we've seen what has happened today at the National Assembly, where the president has honored the likes of Kudirat Abiola, the woman who died fighting for democracy because her husband, late MK Abiola, was denied his rights. So that woman has been posthumously honored by the federal government under the administration of President Bola Tinubu. So many others. Saro Wiwa, the great writer. I know that Ogoniland, there will be jubilation now because Saro Wiwa and those who were executed, they've been posthumously honored. Well, happy Democracy Day. A lot to talk about as Nigeria fared well under democracy. What's the impact of democracy? We had military rule before this unbroken democratic rule. I have personalities with me today. I have Reverend Benson Ogirake, a clergyman and educationist. He will be joining us to dissect the topic that we have today. You are welcome.
Good afternoon, viewers.
We also have with us a lecturer of no mean repute, an intellectual, academics, Dr. Maxwell Osagie, who also understands the political terrain in Nigeria. Dr. Maxwell Osagie, you are welcome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, viewers.
Yes.
We look forward to an exciting moment.
Exactly. I must tell you that Nigerians are looking for an excited moment because right now, not so many Nigerians are smiling. Some persons say even those who have paid jobs don't smile after collecting their salaries. Those who are in the private sector, some have lost their jobs, some are not well paid. Then some persons are yet to even be employed. And some persons are self-employed, but they complain of hike in transport fares, hike in the prices of food items. A lot is happening, and it is the responsibility of every government to provide security, to provide a good economy, which will translate into improved welfare for the citizens of Nigeria. Well, we'll just get started with Dr. Maxwell Osagie, looking at democracy 26 years after. In your opinion, has Nigeria fared well under democracy?
Okay, thank you, viewers. If we have to look at this very question, debating it from both perspectives, we cannot just say that Nigeria has not fared well. We can also not say that we have done well. But we have to look at it objectively in the sense that where we are coming from and where we are, and also try to look at it from an angle of critical analysis. If I go back to the military era, if you remember the time of the Falaye, the SSG during the military era, is it Babangida? Yes. I think as at 1990,
Okay.
when you look at, since the economy is driven by dollar exchange rate, as at 1990, Nigeria exchange rate as at then was 5 naira 50 kobo to a dollar. That's just 1990. 1990. So as at when the issue of Shagari era, yeah, that was Shagari era, then Babangida came in, etc., etc. Now, even when, okay, as at when they left you, the next thing you saw 20 naira to a dollar, 40 naira to a dollar, moved to 100 naira, thereabout. Down the line, we are talking about 1,700 thereabouts. And I think reporters are also not making it friendly. When we talk about this democracy, people like you, the printed media, as well as the media that we are in as well, when you read on a daily basis, it said Naira has improved massively against dollar. I asked myself, when you read further, what you see is that it has increased by 20 Naira, or it has increased by 30 Naira. Is that what we call massive? And so I think we need to start putting things into proper perspective so that Nigeria will know that, okay, this is what we are saying. So many a times I see, Naira has increased massively against dollar. I'm like, what again? Because when you open to read, what you see is that it's not below 1,600 Naira. So what is the massive nature of it? So, however, when we look at where we are coming from, there are some gains. Some gains in the sense that Sarawiwa was executed. But I want to believe there is no president born in democracy that can just single-handedly say, I want to execute somebody in democracy. And with all the insult we pour to all the political leaders or the people who are saddled with responsibility that we voted for, there is nothing they can do. The highest they can do is that they use DSS to intimidate us. After a while, plus and back and everything, they still release you. Because the civil society, everybody, the Nigerians are up to gain in terms of this. We have gained a lot when it comes to this aspect. Human rights a bit, though series of abuse we are still seeing from the police, because I've tried to ask myself over and over again, has police institutionalized collecting of 200 naira or 100 naira on the road on a daily basis? Nobody talks. Nobody says something. So in as much as we want to record some gains in terms of freedom of speech, we can easily not say our mind. Don't forget, the former past governor, what's his name? The Obama.
Okay.
Olusegun was to be executed before the death of Abacha. Now, why I appreciate the honor given to Sarawiwa, Kudirat, etc., I also believe that it is high time Nigeria begin to have some kind of dishonor award. Dishonor award.
How do you mean when you say dishonor
what I meant
award?
is this: by this democracy, certain persons who are playing a critical role in disintegrating our political institution, pulling down what we've seen, what we've built over the years, they should also be dishonored on occasion like this. That yes, you have not the role you were meant to play, you failed in this. That's why I didn't blame when they said they want to give this man should be, his name should be institutionalized, immortalized. The former INEC chairman, what was his name? Wosu. Professor Wosu, you saw the debate. Many people said it was your duty to just pronounce the announcement that Abiola won
the election.
Boy, you fail. You say you were under duress. Pronounce it. People died, for crying out loud. Whether you talk, you don't talk, people will still die.
But he was not willing to die.
He was not willing to die. So why did he accept the responsibility? This is the problem we have in the society today.
that people are not ready to actually give their all, but they just assume that position because of the monetary value associated with it. However, having looked at all these things, yes, have we gained in terms of a bit of fundamental human right? Yes, but the gravity of the disintegration that has happened to our institution today is alarming. We don't even know whether we have police force any longer, with all due respect. We don't know whether we have independent electoral commission as we speak. We are even talking about that. When you come to state, it's worse. You don't even know any institution in the state that is actually working. Now, when you go ahead to look at all parastatals and agencies, there is nothing to write home about. All you see is the judiciary we want to talk about today. So all these institutions, rather than we see them striving in democracy, we've seen them going down. And take it or you leave it, we've also seen some leaders who came to try to annex this institution. But by the time they just leave, another one will just come and bring it down. Don't forget, Jaga laid the foundation. Jaga laid the foundation for this democracy. For the very first time in Nigeria history that an incumbent president will be dethroned for another one to emerge.
Yes.
It takes courage. Because that same man would have performed what Boris Iwu did by not pronouncing the announcement. And what by intimidation and everything. But we still have people who are ready to make democracy work. But the greatest issue we have is that we just have people, when one build, another one comes and destroy it. So it's not just to come and be giving honor to those who have tried. For those of you in there now, what are you doing?
Thank you very much. That was very, very impactful and insightful. Reverend Vexin Ogelaki, I want us to be very practical. You are into private, you're in the private education sector,
Yes.
where you provide education.
Yes.
And you're also a clergyman, where you lead people as well. Looking at democracy unbroken for 26 years, do you think Nigeria as a country has done well? Even in the education sector, have we done well?
Well, I want to say this
Okay.
with all sincerity, with all humility. If I want to assess Nigeria as a country when it comes to the aspect of democracy,
Yeah.
I will categorically say that we have not done well at all.
How do you mean?
The reason is because, you know, while Dr. Maso was saying something just now, there was some statement he made which was a part of the reflection of what Nigeria is today. For instance, let me look at the educational aspect, because I can talk more about it.
Yeah.
In our time, when we're preparing for examination like WAEC, you discover that at the end of writing WAEC, it must show in your physical body.
Yeah.
That people will ask, oh, are you a part of those that are writing the WAEC? Yes. Because you discover that everything about you is into it.
Yeah.
At that time, you, even if you don't want to read, you have to be forced to read.
Yeah.
But look at today. I saw a student that day preparing for mathematics. He just finished one exam. When he gets home, he changed and just went straight to the field. When he knows that the next day is writing mathematics. And you discover that some of them will just go from there to clubhouse, to different places. Why? Because they know that when they return back for the next exam, they are only entry there to just write what is copied on the board. And the government are aware of all these systems. In a situation where you now discover that we are talking about a graduate of a university, then you ask the person to write application letter. He cannot be able to write application letter right at your front. So you discover that things are just going down and going down. And everybody that are into the system who's supposed to sanitize the system, then most of them are just going after the money. Then you begin to ask yourself, what kind of a country is this whereby you discover that even if you want to raise an alarm, those who are supposed to take it off from there, it's as if, what are you talking about? Are you not a part of the system? So you want to tell us that you are righteous? You want to tell us that you are this? And before you know it, if care is not taken, you'll be punished for it. When I say punished for it, is that you look at it, okay, now that you are trying to prove this way, then let us do some certain things that will make, maybe permit me to use this word, like your school. And if you actually discover that if you told that system, and it now becomes a problem to you or for the school, then you have to tread with caution. So that is not to say that we have to just keep our hands. The government actually need to rise up to their own responsibility, because they own the power, the authority to actually punish the offenders. But in the process where you now discover that those who are supposed to punish the offenders are now the executor of those things, so you discover that our hands are tied. So in a nutshell, is that we have not done well at all. We need to tell ourselves the truth, because most of the things that are happening today, it takes a strong heart for you to have the desire that even when you see other people going out of the country, but you know that you have the mix, but yet you decide to say you want to still stay. Most of the businesses here today are struggling. I must tell you, sir. Why is it so? You discover that there are a lot of taxes, there are a lot of other things that you need to meet up with to be able to survive. And because we still have more time, I want to stop here, but I want to say this, that we have not done well, but that is not to say that it's totally off for Nigeria. I still have hope that by the grace of God, that we'll be able to come to a place where the name of God will be lifted up.
Okay, thank you very much. My guests have just given their opening remarks. Just to inform the viewer out there that members of the public will be allowed to contribute to this program. Today is Democracy Day. Have we gotten it right? Or what are areas that you think government should look inwards and revamp so we can have a robust or a progressive democratic governance? Well, the phone number will be displayed later, but we'll take a break now. Okay, it's always a delight to have you on the program. For those of you just joining us, 60 Minutes Nigeria, and for those who have been with us, we are really, really grateful. I must tell you that democracy, some persons are of the opinion that the worst democracy is better than military rule. Dr. Maxwell, do you agree with that?
Yes. To a large extent,
okay.
I agree, because if you have one man dictating what happened, just like what you are saying in Rivers State right now, he becomes worrisome. Because when we talk about governance, everyone is supposed to be fully involved. I hate a system where one person gives order, everybody just, whether you like it or not, whether your full mind is on it or not, you just have to accept it. It's not a good kind of system. But in as much as we have to also say that there are some military regime where you see a liberal leader who takes time to seek opinions before execution. So, but why I agree that there was military rule, I mean, the civilian rule is better than the best aspect of military rule is true, being from an angle of the fact that decision is taken and executed by one person.
Okay.
So it shouldn't be.
Okay. Reverend Ogeraki really made some very valuable comments regarding the education sector. But I want to ask you this question. Some persons believe that Nigeria under democracy would have been better if the government was able to tackle corruption. that corruption has permeated every sector in the country. That what people talk about is money, money. People believe that even as a pastor, if you don't have money, you don't drive in flashy cars, they believe that you are not a successful pastor. Everybody seems to regard affluence. And that has made Nigerians to say we don't care. What matters is the way it is quoted in local palace. So far you make up. You know. So don't you think corruption has undermined the gains of democracy?
Thank you very much, my beloved brother.
Okay.
Actually, corruption is one of the greatest weapons that have brought Nigeria to where it is today. The reason I use the word weapon is because it's in the hands of those who suppose to fight corruption. Let me make this as an analysis. You discover that if I'm asked to destroy this phone, and I have a weapon to destroy it, and you now discover that I decided to take the phone and hold it in my hand. It has become a weapon in my hand because there is nothing there that I will use the other weapon to destroy.
Okay.
So our leaders are so corrupt to the extent that you will see a man being given an opportunity and say, punish this person that is found with corrupt items. And the process of fighting it is also asking the person to say, out of what you took that I'm to punish you for, also bring so that I will lower down the punishment or the discipline. Now, it has corruption have eaten this country to a level to which it now looks as if it's legalized. When we were going to school in our time, if you return home and you tell your mother, I've eaten, you know what that means. She will ask you, where did you eat?
Yes.
If you come back and you are showing extra pencil or extra barrel, where you get it from, in fact, you can't even say it.
Yes.
And at that time, you hear your own parents telling you if you did anything wrong. They will tell you, I will tell your teacher. You quickly adjust. But today, if parents tell their own words or their children, they will even give you the phone number and say, please, call my teacher now. Why is it so? It has eaten almost every fabric of all aspects. Most, like the other day, last Sunday, I went to somewhere to preach, and we're celebrating a medical doctor. I was sharing something with them. I was talking about how parents should come together to build the future of their children despite what is happening in the society today. Why is it so? In a place where you discover that a child of 15 years, 18 years, 20 years is not educated, he doesn't have any hard work, and he bought an expensive car. He's driving it and the parents are rejoicing. Then he will tell you he has bought a house or built a house, and you see the parents rejoicing and even going there to call and say, please come and join me to dedicate such a house. I started telling them, I said, well, it is not my desire, but whether anybody likes it or not, a time will come that parents will start burying their children. I know some people will feel, why will you say so? Yes, I will say so. Any child that you know that does not have a foundation, and you are leaving such a child to live on his own without control. The Bible says, if the foundation be destroyed, it says, what can the righteous do? As far as these children are there, at the age of 18, 19, 20, 21, you are talking about handling millions. Not just that you earn it, not just from your business, but by tricking others and taking it to yourself. So How can you sustain it? In the next few years, if it now happen that such a child doesn't have access to salt, you discover that such a child can carry gun. So, which means that we have to make sure that we fight corruption. But I want to quickly say this, sir. Though government had their own aspect to also play, but at the same time, we as an individual, we have a lot to do. Why is this so? Because...
Okay, we'll quickly just take a break, and
okay.
when we come back, Reverend Ogirake, we'll continue.
Okay.
Okay, nice to have you back on the program 60 Minutes Nigeria. We'll allow members of the public to call in. We have our very first caller. Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good afternoon, Mr. Agbolao.
Yes. Your name, where are you calling from?
My name is Bomosa Obaseki Williams.
Okay, you're welcome.
All right, I want to thank you and, of course, your guest. And I also want to thank them for their contributions.
Okay.
I would like to begin with the aspect of the merits and demerits of the military, and of course the merit and demerit of the so-called democracy. Are you with me?
Yes. Carry on.
This is it. Well, I understand very well that many times during the military there are some kind of human rights abuse, Saruwa and all that were killed. But I did notice that during the Nigeria military regime, a lot of achievements were made. The Kanji Dam, for instance, a lot of other projects that they did. The military had the willpower. The military had willpower. Look at the era, that time of the dollar, 1990. Before then, when the dollar was stable, Naira was bigger. Was it democratic or military rule that sustained the value of the Naira? See, democracy came now, and the so-called Naira not be on the consistent decline. Now let me tell you, of what use is a democracy when democracy is a puppet in the hands of the Western powers and the colonial masters who are still exploiting our mineral resources? Or, my brother Agbolao, don't you also believe that it was military regime, this thing called Boko Haram, this small military that has become a python that nobody can handle? Do you think it will be allowed to grow to this extent? We need to tell ourselves the truth. Because why? It is good for us to sing democracy. But these people that we have in power, how do we test their integrity and the willpower and their determination to do the needful? There's what we call ethos, meaning love for one nation, ETHOS. How much do people love this country they govern? How many times have you seen the governor's son as a Yahoo boy? How many times have you seen a governor, a senator's daughter being killed by ritualists in the course of prostitution? The pastor is talking about celebrating children who do Yahoo, who achieve money. Don't you know that we should blame government for the Yahoo and the misdeeds of the society? Why? Because when you fail to honor or give honor to honor is due, you by yourself enthroned the idiots. How much has government over the years dignified dedication and hard work, my brothers? How? The man sitting down next to you there in purple, I believe it's a lecturer. I went to the University of Benin, I don't know, I just believe so.
Yeah, he's a lecturer. Go on.
Yeah, lecturer, my brother, okay. Can that man talk where his colleagues, maybe in Western world, other countries, who are lecturers, people who impact those that will lead in the future, prosperity, can he measure up with them based on what is paid or the welfare he gets from his country as a teacher of morality and education? The other man who has a school, the man in suit, the clergyman, how does society even treat him for being good? How does the government even encourage him for being Christianist? But the government over years has a way of celebrating mediocrity. Who are those they empower? Who are those they encourage? Those who maim and kill. Those whose sins are religious. Those who sponsor terrorism. Even our religious leaders, who are those that sit in front of the church? Who are those that sit in front of the mosque? So, the government has a whole lot to do. Because why? He who celebrates hard work, he who ensures intellect, he that ensures and promotes integrity, naturally, automatically, without words, inspires the unborn and even the born to do more.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I think you've spoken very well. You've been able to touch a lot. We are grateful for that, so we can also allow other people to make their own contribution. Thank you very much, Mr. Baski. We are grateful.
It's part of what I was saying earlier.
Yes.
No society succeeds when you have an institution that is not up and running.
The greatest problem we have in Nigeria today is as a result of the collapse of various institutions. Because I want to ask you, we buy fuel on a daily basis. Do we even know if we are buying a liter? When I was growing up, we used to see monitoring institutions.
Okay.
Now, a society must succeed with a viable institution because individual cannot do those things.
Okay, thank you. We have a caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello, can you hear me? Okay, I think that's a network issue.
So individual
So
must
monitoring
succeed.
team.
No institution.
yeah.
There are institutions for all these things.
Okay.
When someone will just bring goods from nowhere, you go to market, you can't buy 2 bags of yam. But we have institutions.
Yes.
If we have institutions that are actually working, what we just see is that if you listen to Hakim Baba,
Yes.
that he was a
Okay.
PA.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello, can you hear me? I think it's network
Hakim
problem.
Baba
Okay.
publicly declared that he was a special advisor on political matter to the president for 1 year and 6 months. He never advised president for 1 day. That he has to resign. Okay. Yeah, he has to resign because all he just saw was that he goes to office and receives a lot every month. He never gave one advice. The Hakim Baba that we know that has been on a political one-time spokesperson of the is it elders, whether it was elders who runs or
Okay.
he said he never advised the presidency once.
And that's democracy.
That's democracy.
Let's get this caller. Good afternoon. Where are you calling from? Your name?
From Edo State.
Okay, your name? Hello? Okay. Please, continue.
So we must understand
Yes.
that we just have a political system. I think this copy and paste political system that we have copied from America, that's not how it is run over there. What we are seeing is that Nigeria is very good at copying. See, I'm beginning to subscribe my ideology to what the governor of Oyo stated a few days ago. What's his name again? Makinde. That's someone that is speaking from experience. He said he had just observed Nigeria should just continue to observe 1 single term of 6 years.
Okay, we'll come back to that. Let's get this caller. Good afternoon. Your name? Where are you calling from?
Calling from Edo State.
Okay, go on, please. Okay, we are unable to get you. Maybe you just wait for some time so other people can call. Okay, yes, I was just going to come to other aspects of democracy. You just talked about single term. Former President Jonathan also advocated that.
Because they've experienced it.
Yes.
They've experienced it.
Because it is believed that when under the democracy, the kind of democracy in Nigeria, once a tenure is about to end, the president starts talking about the second tenure.
He said 2 years, yes, 2 years.
So most of them don't even work again.
He said they don't
they
work.
start planning. President Tinubu, in his address today, while he was addressing the joint section of National Assembly, he said he's not interested in Nigeria becoming a one-party state. But the reason he needed to do that because so many political parties are defecting to APC. So he needed to clear that he's not encouraging a one-party state. Let's just get this caller before we allow you to continue. Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello. Okay, I think these people just keep calling.
Sir, when we listen to politicians,
yes.
Sorry, sir. Okay. When we listen to politicians, we should learn to not take seriously their words, but take seriously their body language. This is the same president yesterday made the declaration that the party is open for Wike, an open declaration. And today is telling you that it's not open up for one party. See, hello, what before we came in here, we were discussing something. What this current regime of APC or what the president has done to opposition, it will take more than a decade to clear. You know what? Let me analyze this for you. Nigeria, we just wait for one person to start 18. Now, you heard the presidential candidate of Labour Party saying that the party leaders of the oppositions are on their payroll, on the payroll of the presidency.
It's allegation.
See, whether you like it or not.
Allegations that have not been substantiated.
This is something that came out from a presidential candidate who is a member of a political party, because the question was asked, why are you unable to solve the problem in your party? And he made it clear that the leadership of the party are on the payroll of the presidency. Now they've started it. This is the first time we are hearing that oppositions within themselves will be fighting themselves and they don't want settlement. Why? Because some persons are actually on the payroll. And don't forget, if you follow what happened yesterday, the G5 governors were there with Wike and the president. Anyanwu was there also with the president. Now these are opposition leaders. And if the opposition leaders are romancing the presidency on the very day you drink tea together, what does that mean?
Don't you think it's a good omen when a president of a particular political party extends the olive tree to other technocrats in other political parties to join him?
When he started it by appointing Wike, many of us actually said it clearly that what this man succeeded in doing is to further kill the opposition party. And what do we have today?
Okay.
Do we have a viable opposition party today?
Now, President Tinubu has said openly today that he does not want Nigeria to be a one-party state.
It's already.
Because some political parties are defeated. That's why some people are worried. But let's see whether we can get this caller. Good afternoon. Can you tell us your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, good afternoon, sir. My name is Lazarus Weke.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ted.
Okay, go on.
Okay, thank you, sir. If we have a democracy in this Nigeria, nothing has been changed. Because the one that wear military, when they pull it, they wear Abada, it's the same man. So what they have been doing is what they have been doing. So what we are expecting them to do now, this democracy, is to make something to be easy for the market, to bring fuel down. If we can be able to do that one, we can recommend it for that aspect. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. This caller said, if you say democracy is good, then reduce the price of fuel, that is PMS per liter, bring down the price. And I know that his mind, he wants us to go back to the old price, if possible 200 naira. Okay, we have another caller. Let's see that you can quickly just comment. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Okay, I think this network issue. Reverend Geraki, please go on. Yeah, we're talking about, President said he doesn't want Nigeria to be a one-party state, but so many people are rushing to his political parties.
My brother.
Yes.
Well, one of the things that I'm grateful to God for is that the citizens of this country, Nigeria, a lot of them cannot be fooled again. I use that word because as far as this country is concerned, we have great minds. We have intellectuals. We have those who are actually having the hearts for this country. But one of the evil that is hindering the progress and the stability of this country, trunk of it are from the political aspect. Majority of our politicians are evil and corrupt. So when the president made such a statement, all of us should know that he's not saying the truth. Yes, I can see.
How do you know? Do you have a way of measuring the truth and something that is not
you know,
truth?
the Bible is complete.
Yes.
Very complete.
And you know, he said, one of the ways you know the life of a man is out of the fruit. The fruit is the manifestation of what the tree is. For others who supposed to hold on to their own political parties, for them to be moving earmarks, is an evidence to show that these people are not going there because they want to change anything. So if you see me coming to your house every time, you should know that there is something that is pushing me to you. And because of 60% of the politicians don't actually have their own personal business that can sustain them, all that they are just doing is to make sure that at least this political party is paying me, and that is my system of sustenance. So they want to always dance towards it. But if you find out that they themselves have their own personal business, he also cut across, like even in the religious aspect. There are pastors who are into business, and when they know that they are into business, you discover that coming to the altar to now be giving fake prophecies, it can't happen. I was telling them the other day, I said, success is not a gift. Success is a product of hard work and grace. So anytime you see politicians running towards a particular party, it's an evidence to show that they have failed even before going there.
Thank you. Okay, we are going to take a break, but let's just quickly take this caller. Good afternoon. Where are you calling from? Okay, we'll just take a break now, and after the break, 60 Minutes Nigeria will continue. Okay, so it's a delight to have you back on the program, 60 Minutes Nigeria. We'll still allow you call in and contribute to the program while we discuss the topic. Okay, we have this caller now. Good afternoon. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good afternoon, my brother.
Your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Mr. Jai from Medical Store Road.
Okay.
That man thought just now that the whole thing that we need that president to do is that to come down for fuel.
Okay.
Because since that man just enter, the first thing, I don't know why all of them are rushing to fuel. Because of what they are going to get on it. You see, then number one, as they just enter, they just want to swear that man in that very day. The man, the first thing he said that is gone. Before he left there, before he leave that place, I'm telling you, the whole police station don't agree. It feel like it's a team they do together. We don't understand what Nigeria, where are we going? Where are we now? You can see that everywhere is rolling up. We don't know our position as of now.
Yes.
Alright, headsmen, you want to tell me that there's nobody under the headsmen? Headsmen, people there on the heat and they are getting money from it. People are dying. They don't care. It's like we have the whole place is just porous. I'm telling you, my brother.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I just like this man because this is a true Nigerian. He has just told you his mind. Anyhow, he's able to express himself. We understand. He said he doesn't know why government will always concentrate on fuels. For instance, President Tinubu is the Minister of Petroleum. He's in charge. You only have Minister of State for Petroleum.
Yes.
So the president before him, President Buhari, was also Minister of Petroleum. So why is it that is this petroleum you always hold on to? That's what the man is saying. And now He said subsidy has been removed, people are now suffering. So that's his own. But what about another caller? Your name, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from.
Okay, what's your name, please? Okay, I think it's network that is affected. Some persons really want to make comment about network. Okay, Dr. Maxwell, the way forward to make democracy should not just be the work of academics. It should be something practical. Don't you think we should domesticate our own democracy? The National Assembly should look at how they can maybe fine-tune this democracy to the democracy that will help us. Because democracy in the US, we have billionaires. Democracy in the US, the citizens are enjoying. Now they're even driving people. They've banned some countries, don't enter US. They restrict some countries, don't enter US. Because the country is good. Which type of democracy are we having that people are suffering in Nigeria? Because so don't you think we should rejig our democracy?
Yes,
so people can have weight.
In there, when you have someone with questionable character, he resigned.
Okay.
Even when it's just an allegation,
okay,
he resigned. But
so just like Senate President now, sexual allegations should have resigned.
You resign first before even debating it.
But he said he never touched...
No, I said in a well-developed country,
yes,
even if it's allegation, they will just resign first to tell you how.
Yes,
because
when they resign, will be hungry.
That's what... See, this is someone that has been in politics since 1998. Till date, feeding on masses money. See, the way forward is this.
Yes.
Because when you look at the people we have in leadership today, and if you think we will get any better result from these crops of leaders that we have, please, Nigeria, you will not get results. But everyone should wake up to their own responsibility. Because as it is, we don't have a government that care. They care less. And if you think we will get any result in the next 2 years, you are lying.
But this government has increased even the minimum wage. He has increased minimum wage for corpers. He has given money to ASU and all of that so that they can, their monies can be paid.
Yeah, I said we have an institutional problem.
Okay.
The fuel that the man was referring to, was it not 1,200 when this man just announced no subsidy? Today, how much is fuel? Is 900 naira. Has anything reduced in the market?
Nothing.
As the transportation reduced from 1,200 to 900, how much difference, sir? That's over 300. Have you seen the effect in the economic status of individual? Nothing. So we have an institutional problem, not until we have government who knows that institutions need to enforce government policy, because by the natural way humans are designed, let me not say human now, maybe the way Oyibo are designed, they are quite different from us. The natural way in which an African man is designed, to be specific, Nigerian man, he wants to subchange every other person. Not until you carry the bow and arrow to chastise that person, he will never sit down to think well.
Thank you very much.
That is who we are.
Thank you.
An institution need to work. Police need to work well. EFCC need to work well. INEC need to work well. All monitoring agencies need to work well. That's where you now see the effect. If not, all this money as they go, they are coming out to, truth be said, this money come out from presidency to all the people who are saddled with the responsibility of making it work. But it's going into individual pockets.
Reverend Ogeraki, your concluding remark.
Okay, my concluding remark is this, sir, that those given the opportunity should not see it as an opportunity to eat Nigerians and eat the wealth of this nation. But instead, they should take it as a responsibility that they own to themselves, they own to their immediate family, that they own to their community, that they own to their nation. And they should also see it that posterity is there to actually tell people, even generation yet unborn, of what they have done. Because no matter what they acquire, no matter what they decided to steal from this nation, there is no single thing that is going with them when they die. Naked, they came to this world, and naked, they are going back. Somebody made an analysis that day talking about a man who stole some money from this nation. He said if he's taking 500,000, eating 500,000 daily, they calculated it and it will take almost 300 years for him to finish.
I think that was Dr. Pedro Obaseki.
So,
okay, thank you very much, Reverend Ogeda.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Dr. Maxwell, thank you very much. And for those of you who called in, I know you had network issues, but we are grateful to you. By the grace of God, next week, Thursday, you have another opportunity to be part of the program. Happy Democracy Day. We hope that the democracy in Nigeria will not be likened to what Wole Soyinka said, voodoo democracy, but rather we should have a progressive democracy. On that note, thanks for being a part. Bye-bye.